these things pop up and we're not prepared for it and we think it's ridiculous and it's silly, but it's not. I mean, at one time at one of our high schools, fights would occur on Mondays because of the Facebook activity over the weekend. So, which nobody knows about, right? Because you're not going to say Andrea Brown Thurston on Facebook if you're a teenager. You're going to say Andrea getting money, you know, love my man Brown Thurston. And so as an administrator, you can't find me. You don't know what I'm doing over the weekend. And they know that, right? And so they're saying all sorts of things, inflaming, and by Monday, that's when you have the situation. So again, unless you're tracking these things, female administrators seem to be a little bit more hooked into that, into who's friends with who. But it becomes very uncomfortable in the classroom setting where you have teachers like, I have to change my groupings of girls working together every single day because these two were friends yesterday, but they're not today. And it's ridiculous because I can't function like this when every day is some arbitrary who's in and who's out. So, yeah.
And part of it, you know, when we think about like if it starts in September, it's going all the way to June. You know, like boys, if something is brewing, I give it less than 24 hours, right? Girls will warm up here because they're still using relational aggression, right? So they're still talking behind each other's back, and they want to just, you know, tease it out a little bit longer until it erupts, right? And then after the fight, let's use a little bit more relational aggression. Let's use a little bit more silent treatment, right? And so, but it is that mediation, that talking about it, getting it out as much as possible. That really is.
Talks a lot about mentoring and how the mentors have helped her along the way. My mentors talked to me about my problems, and I was able to talk to them. They were just like my big sisters. And I was comfortable because even though I talked to them about certain things that might have disappointed them, they still helped me, they still smiled, they still cared, and they didn't just give up on me. So again, going back to that same conversation around having a mentor outside of the family that can love you regardless, that the love really is unconditional. This is a student that I know Dr. Perham worked with along the way, and this young lady considered her to be a mentor, and again is off in college and doing fine. But she talked about, when I have a problem, I know there are people here that I can talk to. And I know that when I come to school the next day, they're not going to look at me as if I've done something wrong, or if, you know, there's something wrong with me. They understand that I'm an adolescent, and that being that means that I'm going to make mistakes. Help me to get back on track rather than judging me. So that came out a lot in the interviews, that the girls just didn't want people to see them as a disappointment, and that's what they needed a mentor to be. Somebody that I can say whatever is on my mind, and when I say that, you won't have a knee-jerk reaction and say, no, absolutely not, don't do that. You'll say, let's talk about this a little bit more. We have a mentoring program in partnership with Accenture, CICS, and so our 3 high schools have girls that go there and they do some job shadowing, they have an individual mentor, and it was interesting in the spring, and Dr. Perham was there as well, when one of the girls was talking about getting a full scholarship to one university, but wanting to go to another. And she brought up in this whole group, she was like, my mom is so mad and we're arguing, and she's like, go where the money is, go where the full scholarship is where you don't have to pay. But I want to go to this other school. What do you all think? And immediately, you know, these are, you know, senior executive women. They were like, girl, wait a minute, let's talk. Your mom is right. You don't want student loans. You don't want to have to be paying all this money once you get out of college. What are you going to study? And I think it was something general like nursing or teaching. They were like, get out of here. If it's not a specialized field where this college is the #1 place to go for that, your mom is absolutely right. And one of the mentors was like, if I was you, I would drive you down there today if I was your mom. And so it kind of took the tension out of it. You could tell that it was something that was bothering her because she brought it up and wanted other adult women to say, do you think I'm wrong or do you think I'm right? So hopefully that helped with the conversation with her and her mom to kind of take down that tension level and say, let's just be reasonable about this and look at it in a different lens.